Hi, welcome to my podcast, Tell Me Something New. My name is Shelby. I'm a mental health care doctor, and I am joined by my friend Robert. Hi, Robert.
Hello, Shelby.
I am very excited to introduce my friend Robert. We know each other from, we met, within the last year and kind of had a serendipitous reunion walking through the street and said hi. And I invited him to come on to my podcast because in all of our prior interactions, I was just struck by how thoughtful you were and all of the cool ideas you shared with me. So you were kind of actually someone who immediately came to mind when I thought of people I wanted to interview for my podcast. So Robert, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Of course. I am a native here of Washington, D.C. I am a guy who likes to think and then share thought because I think thought is extremely important to our world. Mm-hmm. The thoughts that we share, they change our perception. As we change our perception, we expand our views. As we expand our views, we can help others to expand their views as well. So I think that we should all take the time to think of how important it is to always have control of our motives and thoughts, because your motives lead to your thoughts.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you. So you think that we can control our thoughts to a large degree?
Absolutely.
I would agree. And I think that can sometimes be, a hard pill to swallow in a way because, there are a lot of people who struggle with that. And, well, we won't get into the mental health because sometimes there are issues with thoughts. But I think we do have more control over it than we realize. And when we tap into the ability to use that potential that we have, we can really cause and create so much more positive and beautiful emotion in our life and really kind of organize and recruit all of those positive thoughts so that we create positive results, positive feelings, positive actions in our world, right? Yeah.
I'll share this with you.
Yes.
I believe in the idea of a 4-car train.
4-car train, okay.
Your idea leads to your thought leads to your action, and then your action leads to your result. Mm-hmm. So if you control it from your intention, mm-hmm. you also control the results. Yeah. Your outcome is always equal to your input. So if you input positive, you can withdraw positive. Mm-hmm. But if you input negative, you can't withdraw positive. So I just feel like if you control it from the time you realize what you intend to do, and at that point, you also control the ending of it too.
Absolutely. And something, it's interesting you say that because something you're describing, and I guess in my world and sort of the mental health world, I would say it's something I would almost call like cognitive behavioral therapy, the idea that the idea leads to the emotion, leads to the result, or the action leads to the result, and that kind of model. But, you don't have to put a therapeutic label on it. I think it's just kind of common sense.
Yeah.
But it's also something that is really challenging for many of us. And there are times, including times in my life, where I've struggled to have either awareness over my thoughts or the ability to reflect on them, the capacity to reflect on them without getting all tied up in them, So it can be challenging. And
the inside of our minds can be a scary space sometimes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. We find out what's in there when we go in there.
We do, and we have to go in and just be very curious about them and just be willing to appreciate what they are. And I really am excited to get into your new idea that you wanted to share, but I think there's so much value in being willing to just look at our scary thoughts. What do you think about that?
Yeah, we have to. Yeah. We have to, because fear, it's an acronym. False evidence appearing real.
False evidence appearing real.
When it shows up, you either face everything and rise or flee everything and run. Mm-hmm. If you run, there's no result in running except getting away from something that's still going to catch up to you. If you face it, you defeat it, it's gone. Mm-hmm. But that's the choices you have when fear appears, because there's no person that's not afraid. Yeah. The bravest warrior is brave because he's afraid while he does something valiant. It's not because he wasn't scared. No, of course he's afraid. He's human.
Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness, yeah. So true. And as you were talking about that, I remember one of the first times I remember us talking, I was going through a situation where I was feeling afraid of something, and I didn't really go into detail with you about it, but I remember mentioning that I had a problem. And one of the things you said was, well, I can't remember exactly what you said, but you said...
I know exactly what I said to you.
What did you say?
I said that every problem has a Siamese twin.
Yep.
Its name is solution.
Right.
All we have to do is reunite them and the problem will disappear.
Right? Reunite them and the problem will disappear. So that was a nugget of wisdom that I remember you giving me that I just was like, man, that was so helpful. And that was so helpful for my day, just moving forward with that fear and with that idea of like, I just need to find a solution and it is out there. And with that being said, I think you already kind of brought up your idea for the day because you were telling us about fear. And I noticed that every letter of the word had a certain meaning behind it. Can you tell us more about your new idea?
I realized one day that with words, there are letters in the word, but then there are words within the letters of the word as well that further describe or give clarity to what the word really means. Because we use words sometimes without the idea of what they really mean. Like the word words. We openly reveal divine spirit.
Wow. We openly reveal divine spirit.
Yeah. When we say words, we are channeling ideas. We bringing ideas into the world when we say those things. And I don't know if we always realize how powerful words are. Just through the words, let there be light. The sun's still shining today. Thousands or millions or however many amount of years later. Just from the use of words. Because words are vibration, and vibration and frequency moves everything. It moves things inside you. It moves things around you. My mother used to say that when you walk into an atmosphere, you have the ability to either warm the atmosphere, freeze the atmosphere, or leave it neutral. And she told me, she said, in life, you have to choose whether you're going to be a small rock in the ocean of energy, or will you hit it and create a tsunami? So she always told me to be intentional about the way I move through life and use my thoughts when I use them.
Yeah, that's wonderful. I love that. Say it again. Words was we
openly reveal divine spirit.
We openly reveal divine spirit. And what do you call this idea?
I call it acrogems because I realized that there are diamonds inside words. There are gems inside the words that we use. And if we use them, we dig into our mind like a coal mine, and we find diamonds. But only when we dig into our minds and look at things from different angles. When we change the angle on anything, it looks totally different. It's the reason why if we go take a mug shot, we take one from the front and one from each side. Because from each angle, things look different. So no matter how small a word may be, I even have one for the word me. Made exquisitely.
Made exquisitely.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. I feel tingles. I'm like, that's beautiful.
That's what each me is.
Yeah.
Even in the Bible, it mentions it.
Really?
King David said that I am in awe of my God, for I am wonderfully made. Meaning that we as human beings, we're the greatest creation ever created. We just have to understand what we are. Got another one. The word you. Your own universe.
Your own universe.
That's what each one of us are. We're able to bring things into our universe. We are able to build. We are able to destroy. We are able to do everything that our Father can do except put life back in something that doesn't have life. But other than that, we can do anything. So that makes you a universe because that makes you able to control your world. Your world is the contents of it.
Yeah, that's beautiful. There's one of my favorite authors is Dr. David Rico. He's a psychologist, and he has declarations of, all these different ideas of healthy self-esteem and healthy functioning and healthy emotions and healthy thoughts and what that looks like. And one of the things that he said that I think sticks out to me is every human capacity is available to you. And I think that is so true. And I love how your idea and concept sort of interweaves that. And I absolutely agree too. There's a reason that when we spell, words, we are literally spelling. The word spell, almost like spelling an incantation.
Performing magic with words.
Performing magic with words, yeah. It's true. It really does create an effect and an impact in our environment and in our minds and what we believe is reality. I mean, the words we speak to ourselves forms our own reality. And I try to be mindful of how I'm speaking to myself because there was a time in my life I think I didn't really speak that kindly to myself. And over the years, I've learned how to speak kindly to myself, how to speak kindly to others, and how to use my words to promote clarity, grace, creativity, truth. Finding truth in our words and speaking truthful words is so, so, so important. And when we don't speak truthful words, we deceive ourselves, not others, but ourselves mainly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Glad you said that.
Yeah.
Lie. Life is easy. At least that's the thought of the liar. That somehow it's going to make his life easy, because if I say this, then I get out of this problem. But no, you just created a new problem. You created the problem of having to continuously remember what you told that wasn't true. Truth, to reveal untold things hidden. That whatever's the thing that hasn't been said, sometimes is the thing that most needs to be said.
Wow. That's just so, I says true. That is the truth. Can you say that one more time just so it sinks in?
Truth, to reveal untold things hidden.
To reveal untold things hidden. And it's so, and we don't have to hide things. We don't have to hide truth. We don't have to hide what we need to say. And I think sometimes that comes back to the fear that we talked about earlier.
Yeah. I think people sometimes hide their truths because as human beings, we are an internal being having an external experience. We learn the things we learn about ourselves because of the world around us. The smart person knows they're smart because they've been told. The pretty girl knows she's pretty because she's been told. So we're reactive creatures. We react to the environment around us. We react to the atmospheres around us. So through the words we use, we create those atmospheres too. And if we can't be truthful with ourselves, can't be truthful with anyone.
Yeah, and it becomes a form of self-deception, and it's sad that sometimes we choose to live in self-deception. And I think all the time of what causes that and why we do that, and there's reasons it happens, but it comes from an unhealthy place. And there's such a value in learning the skill of being truthful, speaking our words with intentionality to ourselves, because the way we talk to ourselves ultimately, I think, ends up in how we treat ourselves. And so I'm just really glad we're having this conversation, because I think it's a reminder, and it gives us a new perspective on how to think about how we speak to ourselves. And now I won't be able to say the word truth or lie or me or you without, thinking about this. I'd be curious about love.
Love. Lasting, obvious, varying emotions. Because the emotions of love change a lot. There are days when you're not happy with the person that you love.
Right.
There are days when you're so mad at the person you love, you don't want to see him.
Wow.
But if anything wrong were to happen, you jump to their defense immediately, because you always love them. Though the emotions vary, that one thing never varies. Love doesn't vary. It always stays the same.
Yeah.
It's the only thing equated directly to God. It's a scripture in the Bible that says, he that does not know love does not know God, because God is love. God is eternal, meaning love is the same thing.
Yeah.
God Almighty, then that means love has to be the most almighty feeling in the world. It can change anything.
It can, and it's the most all-powerful emotion in the world. It's the most powerful essence. I think many people, their essence innately is love. We're made of love, if you want to think about it in that sense, or in that symbolic sense. But I think our default as humans is to have the capacity to feel love and to express love and to act in love. And I think that is something that, I'm on my journey, and many other people are on their journeys of finding and expressing that love.
I'm glad you said something about the essence of what we're made of. This gives me a chance to ask you a question.
Ooh, ask me a question.
There are 4 things that were used to build the universe. They existed before space and time, but they are the ingredients to you, me, and every living thing.
Okay.
Do you know what they are?
Do I know what they are? Ooh, this is such a. I'm curious. Well, I feel like love is one of them.
Absolutely.
Yeah. 4. You've stumped me, Robert.
All right. I'll help you out. They are spirit, energy, aura, and love.
Spirit, energy, aura, and love.
God is a spirit made of energy.
Yep.
All energy is surrounded by an aura. And then the scripture we were talking about earlier, how if you don't know love, you don't know God, because God is love. Those 4 ingredients he used to build every single living thing. That's how he constructed the universe.
Yeah. Wow, that's beautiful. So, love, energy, aura, and spirit that created it all.
Everything.
Yeah.
Absolutely everything. Me, you, and every other thing in existence.
Yeah. And I noticed in our interactions that we've had that I've gotten the sense that you've had a lot of love and you've been shown love growing up. And I'm curious.
Man. For a mother, I had a lady I considered the greatest philosopher to ever speak.
Really?
Yes.
Man,
yes.
she could have met her.
She said some of the deepest things that I couldn't understand. I remember telling one of my friends, I said, my mother's Yoda from Star Wars. He said, why would you say that, Rob? I said, because I don't know what she's talking about, but if I use it, I'll have the Force one day. I shared my favorite philosophy that she ever taught me, and I think I lived by it the most. I tried to. She says to me one day, I was 9 years old, she says, boy, I want you to go hard in the yard and put some paint where it ain't. I'm stuck. Like,
hard in the yard and put paint
yeah,
where
go
it
hard in the yard and put some paint where it ain't. So I go outside and I tell my friends, I say, I know what my mother wanted me to be when I grow up. He said, what? I said, a graffiti artist and a landscaper. He said, I said, man, she told me go hard in the yard, put paint where it ain't. That's the only 2 jobs I can do and do that. Mm-hmm. So I'm like 15, maybe 16 years old. And one day she looks at me and she says, I'm going to explain it. She said, when I told you to go hard in the yard, that meant that your viewpoints, your morals, your beliefs, your ideas, no one can change that but you and God. She said, and when I told you to put some paint where it ain't, nobody can paint the world in the hue of Robert but you. She said, so every blank wall you find, splash your color on it until you change the world by accident.
Wow. Oh, that's so beautiful. Your mom.
So
wow.
That's the one I believe out of all of them that I try to live by the most, to be myself at all times. Mm-hmm. My mom used to say, there's no personality vacancies in the universe, Robert. Oh. God gave you the one you was meant to have, so use it.
Yeah.
So she told me to always be comfortable being myself. Mm-hmm. And it was a lesson that was hard to learn because I was different from a lot of the kids around me. Mm-hmm. I'm reading dictionaries and stuff as a kid. So I was different from a lot of the kids around me, but I learned how to be comfortable with it. And once I learned how to be comfortable with it, I was good.
Well, I'm so glad you learned how to be comfortable with it because the person you are is so unique and so, I mean, ever since I met you, it was just every time I would look forward, when I'll see Robert again, when I'll see Robert again. And you always left me with this just feeling of, after we talked, of, peace and positivity and gratitude and just that good feeling of walking away and just being like, what a nice person, what a nice man to talk to.
I'll tell you what, I was always taught that gratitude and your attitude make you last longer on the longitude and latitude. And
Great.
Then one day I was taking a class in massage therapy, and I learned the amount of muscles it takes to smile as the opposed amount of muscles it takes to frown. Mm-hmm. So when my teacher taught me that it only takes 19 muscles to smile, but it takes 43 of them to frown.
See?
I was like, wow, so you gotta work twice as hard plus to be angry.
Right.
Yet you could work a lot easier and be happy. And then your happy could spread to other people. And that's the thing I always think about is trying to be infectious with it. Mm-hmm. That I don't want to smile by myself. Oh,
that's beautiful. You don't want to smile alone by yourself. Yeah.
If I'm in a room with 100 people, I want it to be 100 smiles.
Yes, absolutely. Same here, absolutely. Why do you think, why is it that you think some people hold on to anger so much? What do you think it does for people?
It's easier for people to hold on to.
Yeah.
Because holding on to anger is holding on to what you see in front of you. Tangibles that you're angry about.
Right.
But holding on to peace, holding on to love, holding on to kindness is holding on to what you can't see.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard for people sometimes to deal with that which they can't see. They're better with what they can see.
You're so right.
Yeah, it's like the meaning of faith.
Yeah, I was about to say faith.
Yeah.
You have to have faith to be able to...
The assured expectation of things hoped for yet not seen. Mm-hmm. That's what it says in the Bible is the meaning of the word faith. Mm-hmm. So that means you got to say, all right, the basketball game just started, but I already scored 100 points. Mm-hmm. You got to walk around with that mentality to have faith. And that's hard for a lot of people. Mm-hmm. So angry is, I'm looking at the thing I'm mad at. I can continue to be mad because it's right there. Yeah. I'm glad you said that. I got one.
I'm excited.
Argue. Angry, recurring grumbles unravel everything.
Angry, recurring grumbles unravel everything.
Yeah. Because when we argue, all we're doing is repeating something that we've probably said before, and that's the reason
So
we're at the
right.
point of arguing about it, because we started off having peaceful discourse about it.
Yeah.
Then it became heated discussion. Then it becomes a little bit of yelling. Then it becomes flat out arguing. And the arguing keeps on because we're recurring the same things to each other that we still unhappy about. And it's just continuously ripping apart the fabric of whatever relationship that we having the arguments in.
Yeah. Oof. Oh, that touches me. That touches me because, I think we've all had those experiences where you've struggled in an argument and it just touches, and I'm sure it'll hit home for other people to hear that too, especially when we've struggled with maybe an argument with someone we love, like a family member or something of that accord, and I'll always try to remember that. And so thank goodness this is a podcast, because I'll be able to look back and remember all of these so I don't forget them. Well, it seems like we're moving toward time and might wrap up, but what I will say is I hope that I am absolutely able to interview you again, because I know that, Robert, you are a beacon of truth. You are full of so much knowledge and wisdom and just like a wealth of positive energy. And I enjoy connecting and talking about these topics. And I wish we could spend another hour chatting, because I'm sure we would talk about so many things.
All right, I got one last one,
Okay.
and I'm done. But I just did this one the other day when I was thinking about the fact that we were going to record something. Record. Reality etched continuously on repeated demand.
Ooh, reality etched continuously on repeated demand.
Yeah, you and I sitting here talking now, that's the reality. It's now being etched into this screen. It's being etched into,
right there.
into the digital space. Then on repeated demand, when anyone presses the play button, it's there again.
Yep.
And it becomes the same reality that it was initially.
I love that. Well, I hope all of you watch it over and over again, because I know I will be, because this has been a feel-good conversation that makes me have a lot of realizations in my life. And I like to share my new thought as well on these podcasts. And so my new thought is actually inspired by Acrogems. And so I was thinking about the word stranger, because at one point we were strangers and now we're not. I consider you a friend. And so I think the word stranger means someone that really allows new, good energy reciprocity.
That is incredible.
Someone,
I love it.
Thank you. So a stranger is someone that really allows good, new energy reciprocity. And why do we not outgrow our stranger danger? When we're little kids, we learn, we have either a hard wiring, or we get taught early to be afraid of people. We walk down the street and we look down, or we don't say hi, or we don't get to know people.
Yeah.
But if we hadn't gotten to know each other, we wouldn't be sitting here having this conversation.
Yeah,
So
because those times when we interact, we create connection. And connection is important. It's the most important thing of all.
it is so important. Well, Robert, thank you. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, and I appreciate this. And if anybody is interested, in this podcast idea, please just reach out. I am excited to hear from you. I'm excited to maybe have you come on and share your idea.
Yes.
Because clearly we have, there's a potential out there to have so many interesting conversations and share so many new ideas.
And if you come on, you get to have a really cool interviewer.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Well, I hope you had a good time, Robert. And
Absolutely.
thank you for meeting with me. Thank you for taking time out of your schedule. This is Tell Me Something New. And thank you, Robert, for telling us something new.
You are very welcome.
All right. Have a good one, y'all. Bye-bye.